Thanks for coming, guys. So I wanted to start off with some numbers, some facts, some stuff about Instagram. So who here personally uses Instagram, has a personal account? All right, almost everybody. Who here either manages one or has one for their business? Right, still a pretty good amount. So there's currently right around 400 million active users of Instagram in the world. It's growing at a substantial rate. It's the fastest growing social media out there, with close to 80 million of those active users in the United States. Something that surprised me was that there's actually a little bit more male on Instagram than there is female. Almost 50-50, but a little bit more male. And 90% of the users right now are under 35. So, is your audience that under 35 audience? Well, I'm 33. I'm going to be 35 really soon. That age is going to continue to get older. And as that age gets older, I'm not going to be like, I'm 36 now, I'm not going to use the cool new social media, because I grew up using social media. Facebook started when I was in college, and you had to have the college email address, log in with your .edu. So that's been a part of my life, and it will continue to be. So you'll see that age continue to grow. Facebook actually purchased Instagram in 2012, and everyone thought Mark Zuckerberg was crazy. He bought it for $1 billion. They had zero revenue, and they had 13 employees. They said, what are you doing? Why are you spending $1 billion on a company that has nothing? He's done an okay job with it. It's currently on pace to be a $3.2 billion revenue in 2016, with over $5 billion next year. So I'm gonna start off with a question. Which accounts have the most followers? Any guesses? Like out there on all of Instagram.
Women celebrities.
That's a yes. They're up there. So who can guess what number one is?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is the number one person.
Oh.
So yes, Taylor Swift has over 60 million followers.
Red Bull.
Number one is actually Instagram. They have 130 million followers, or right around there right now. So Instagram number one, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Kim Kardashian, and you were going down the right path there, and Beyonce. So a few bonus. Anyone can guess who's the guy with the most followers?
The Bieber.
Yep, you're on fire. And anyone, one more, any guess on who the athlete with the most followers? This is a tough one. Neymar, the soccer player from Brazil. Soccer obviously has a huge worldwide follower. He has the most. So yeah, some top Instagrams. I mean, you can see no one, in my opinion, as a person or a celebrity, is engaging with their followers as Taylor Swift. She showcases that in everything that she does. So if you're thinking about Instagram, ask yourself, is your audience there? It's the people that you want to reach utilizing Instagram. Do you have the time personally? So in your job or your responsibility, do you have time to be the one to build a plan and to actually execute on what you're trying to accomplish?
I think that one though, it's like do you really have the time to do it? Like, you have to ask yourself that, because you're investing time into this thing. Right now, it's actually like a free medium. Like, it's free to play. You have as good a chance as Selena Gomez to become the 60 million followers, right? But the thing you have to ask yourself is, do you have the time to put into it?
Do you personally like social? Some people don't like social media, and they actually wish it didn't exist because they feel like they have to be there because it's a thing. And business was a lot easier when they just you had a brick and mortar store, or maybe even an e-commerce website, but social wasn't a thing you had to deal with as much. And then do you understand the platform? That's another one. So then as newer platforms come out, you have to say, am I going to be part of this? Is it going to be something that I want to learn? What's the best way to utilize it? So those are some of the questions that we want to ask you guys to consider today, and that we thought about when we started doing what we're doing here. So, who are we? Eric introduced us. We are brothers. We are from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Our careers have brought us both together here and work for MLive Media Group. So that is our daily life. I work on our digital strategy team, and Nick works on our creative team.
If it makes sense, like, he put all of the information we're learning together, and then I was like, that looks like garbage, and then I made everything pretty by adding photos and making it circular and doing everything we wanted to. So if you think it looks good, that's me.
So we started My Playground 6 months ago, almost to the day. So the photo right here, we're on paddle boards. We're actually out on Lake Michigan. It was Memorial Day weekend when we had been talking about the idea of starting a clothing brand. Something we wanted to do, but more than just clothing, we wanted to make a lifestyle brand. So we were really into outdoors, paddleboarding, snowboarding, hiking, wakeboarding, whatever that is. Growing up in the UP, there's a lot of that around. So we were out there that day, and Nick, pretty much, we weren't even out there talking about this, but we were floating on that day, the calmest water I've ever been on in Lake Michigan, and Nick said, this is awesome. It's like a huge playground for us. Michigan is. And we kind of started playing on words, and we said, my playground, M-I, taking the play off of my, like ownership, M-Y. We created My Playground that day, the concept.
We actually had a lot of bad ideas as well.
Not saying this one's perfect, so
yeah,
you guys might think it's bad.
Yeah, but we actually had a lot of bad ideas coming into it. We had one for a while. I even made a logo, and we called it Snakes and Sparklers. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with Joe Dirt, the movie, but in that he says, it's not about you, it's about the consumer. And so I was like, okay, well, let's just make a bunch of junk that we don't like. And hopefully other people will because we think they like it. We're like, isn't that the most backwards way to build a business plan? But that was a legit idea that we had for a while. So this one seemed like a better venture.
So our main interaction with our customers right now is Instagram. We actually don't even have our website finished. We have our product on Etsy. So you can buy stuff online and you can get to a sale distribution. But Etsy is the place where we have stuff for sale. Instagram is where we're doing all of our interaction with customers. We have our Facebook page, we have Snapchat, we have Twitter, but Instagram is we took if any of you listen to Tim Ferriss, Nick's a huge fan of Tim Ferriss, but he takes the approach of find where you want to be and dominate it. So that is what we're doing. We're putting our focus into Instagram, and we've totally started building this brand solely off of Instagram.
Just so you know, we try to push out to different platforms. My wife, Marklyn, she's here. She's part of our shipping and hyping department at the company. And she is actually Snapchatting this whole thing for us so that we're engaging other people while we're doing it.
Yeah. So here you can see in this photo here, Nick mentioned Marklyn, and then my wife, Stephanie, who is not here today. But that is the four of us that do this. So we all have a responsibility. So when we talk about who's going to do something, I come to work here. I have my responsibilities I do here during the day. My wife stays at home with our 1.5-year-old. She takes on a lot of the daily operations. Marklyn is, some of you may recognize her from serving you beers at Founders or giving you a tour, but that is her job, so she has varying schedules. So we all have the ability to work together and do what we need to do. So when I ask who has the time, who's going to be in charge, who has the plan, we came up with all of that and we're building out what we needed to do. So we wanted to, real quick, because we're going to do something fun throughout this, we wanted to take a quick photo. So do you guys mind if you're in the background of a selfie? All right, we're getting here. All right. All right.
There you go. She's going to be posting that once it's posted. If you guys, everyone has their phone out, go ahead, jump on My Playground, and it's my_playground, M-I Playground, and like the photo. And then how do you have this thing?
So we're going to talk about how we run small contests and how it gets great engagement on our Instagram page. So we want to do that in here today. So we're going to actually say, post that photo and say, where's your favorite place to visit in Michigan? Go ahead and comment on that, and then we have a giveaway that we're going to do at the end. So when you're building this out, what's the plan? Putting in the research. Is your audience there? Who's in charge? Best times to post? Are you going to create a hashtag or try to jump onto hashtags that are already established? Quality photos is something we're going to get into in a second. The photo we're about to post probably will be the worst photo we've ever posted with not a lot of thought behind it, but quality photos is huge. That's what Instagram is. It's a photo, and if you're using bad photos, it really limits the engagement. I've been reading some statistics on even like how much better a photo that has more light to it performs to one that's darker in color, and a whole lot of different things, whether you're zoomed in on the target or whatever. So we'll get into some of that stuff. So don't always pitch product. That's another thing. So if we just posted photos all day, every day of this t-shirt or a t-shirt laying on the floor and said, hey, buy our shirts on our Etsy page, buy our shirts, no one would care to follow us, because we went from not existing to trying to sell you something that you know nothing about. We would have no one would care. So we had to create what we wanted as a lifestyle. So if you've jumped on our page right now to do this contest, you'll see some of the stuff that we're doing. We're out a lot snowboarding, we're out paddleboarding, we're out doing all this stuff, we're hiking. So we are really living the lifestyle of what we're trying to portray. So when we start to look into execution, so this is gonna get into what we're really talking about here. We're gonna talk about 3 different things. We're not just gonna talk about us, we're gonna talk about us some and what we've done. And then 2 other examples. Nick's friend, a guy that lives in the UP, Dan Pemble, he's going to be one of the examples that we use. And then one that's a well-known established brand, GoPro. This photo right here, we like to use this photo. This is our first mini viral photo. This was from December. It was on Reed's Lake. It was a super foggy day. I don't know if any of you guys remember the extremely foggy day in December, but we went out paddleboarding. My wife dropped us off, scared that we were going to fall in and never be found again because it was so foggy. But we had a great time.
Yeah. Okay, so it's posted. So if you want to get on there, like it, comment on your favorite place in Michigan, we'll get that part of the contest started.
So this photo has went mini viral for us. So we use hashtags like paddleboarding, paddleboard. Pure Michigan is a good one that we've started to utilize because that has over 2 million posts right now. Everyone in this state that enjoys outdoors, going out and doing stuff, has really embraced the whole Pure Michigan campaign and made it their own. So this has been picked up by 4 national paddleboarding publications now on their Instagram. So that's how we go and get photos to get more followers, to go mini viral, as I call it, because we're not majorly going viral with this stuff. But this photo got picked up by 4 publications. So
something interesting about this photo is, like, once you have that mindset of we're on Instagram and we need to start building our library for Instagram, like I said, Andy, I'm paddling back to this spot, you stay here. So that's like a 5-minute paddle while I like get there. And then I turn around and I say, okay, am I right? And he's like, no, that's not it. I'm like, am I right? And he's like, no, that's not it. So once you start thinking of who's in charge, there's someone that will be looking out for those opportunities. And if you know what your subject matter is, then it makes it a lot easier to start gathering those photos while you're doing the things that you like, or you're at work, or you're on your way to work, or doing it however you want to.
So when we look at how we built this, our Instagram page was started 25 weeks ago. So we came up with our concept, we started to get things in line, and we launched our page 25 weeks ago. Some of you, if you don't have an Instagram page for your business yet, a lot of you still have established businesses that may have been around for years, maybe 100 years, that have name recognition. So you could start your page and already have a loyal following that might jump over because they use Instagram and already start to gather your follower base, which would be great. We actually started with nothing because My Playground didn't exist. So what we looked at first was hashtags. That was one of the first things that we started. We said, did we want to establish a unique hashtag that we wanted to get our followers to use to grow? And that was where we saw the ability to do that. So we actually started hashtagging all of our photos with My Playground. So all of our photos you see will hashtag My Playground. To this day, year to date, we're at about 3,500 uses of the hashtag My Playground, mainly by the people that are following our brand. So people are out doing the stuff. Our hashtag has caught on that when somebody is out exploring in the woods or out on the water or out on the ski hill, they're hashtagging My Playground a lot of times alongside Pure Michigan, a lot of times alongside Michigan, or what they're doing, snowboarding or Crystal Mountain or Boyne or Cannonsburg or whatever that is. So it's pretty cool when we get notification that I see that a hashtag My Playground has been used and see what people are associating the hashtag that we created with. that we created and what they're putting it next to. So creating that hashtag, it can be something that you could use your business name. In the back, Asher works for New Belgium, but is here in Michigan. And so he has a really, I would say, unique situation because he is backed by an awesome, huge brand, but also here in Michigan. So his username is New Belgium, Michigan. So it's a mix of him being part of New Belgium, but him being in the Michigan market. So really cool ways to utilize where he works, but being in a local geography like the state of Michigan.
And that actually, we knew that there's some people from Goodwill here today. So you might have to put yourself in a regional spot like that so that people will know to search for you. And once you can leverage your following for that, that'll help you guys out because then you know where to go find you. So maybe your hashtag exists, maybe it doesn't, but start thinking about that.
So utilizing popular hashtags that make sense. If we post a photo, usually it's going to have my playground. This is the first hashtag. We will usually start to hashtag a few things that we're doing in the photo. So for hiking or for paddleboarding or whatever we're doing, a lot of times we'll put the place we are. So if we're in Grand Rapids or whatever that is. And then we'll also use a lot of times some other hashtags that we found that make sense. So Pure Michigan, there's one, Michiganders is one a lot of people use in the space. So we've started to utilize these hashtags that make sense. And if the point is, if you can get your photo trending in that hashtag, you're in a really nice place. So we'll touch on that in a second. I tend to be around 10. I've heard some people say they like to do 30. I think that's way too many. And if you do one or two, if they're the right one or two, that's fine. In different photos, sometimes we go different routes, but we're usually around 10. It's usually a few Michigan related, if it makes sense. It's usually always our hashtag that we use, and then usually a couple related to what is going on in the photo.
Once you're below the fold, so if you just have like a one sentence quip and then the see more part of it, if someone's not looking to see more, your first thing, it's all about photos. So you have to have a good photo. You got a nice little thing that says something underneath. I mean, you're kind of free reign, but just don't get wild so that someone clicks it, they can't find the comments, because that's the next part about the social media that you want to play with. So just something to keep in mind.
So original and crowdsourced photos. So again, sitting here thinking, what are you guys doing during your day? If you have a business or a side business or whatever that is, you might not be able to just be out taking photos all day because you have other responsibilities. We don't get to go snowboarding every day, paddleboarding every single day, but we're posting every day. So we have a plan where we haven't went one day yet without posting at least one photo, but I haven't went out and got to do this stuff every single day since we started. So where are we getting our photos from? When we go paddleboarding that day in the fog, I probably took 100 photos. I didn't post 100 photos that day. I limited myself to 2. One, because I didn't need to flood our followers' news feed with a bunch of photos of us, but it went into a library of when we can post photos. In December, I remember that day, it was so foggy. It was one of our favorite days, and we'll do like a TBT for Throwback Thursday, which is a super popular hashtag. So if you're a business and you have an old photo from the day that your company opened in 1947, could be a cool Throwback Thursday. And that's a huge hashtag, one of the most popular hashtags on Instagram. The other way to get the photos is crowdsource photos. And we do this a lot. So we started running a weekly contest where if you use hashtag MyPlayground on Monday, we're going to pick our favorite photo from the week, and then you get a free sticker. We'll send you a sticker in the mail, and we'll post. And every time we post somebody else's photo, we ask for permission and we give them photo credit. So we tag them in the photo as well, because people are trying to grow their base as well. A lot of photographers, a lot of people that are out doing stuff that they want followers. Like Eric here, who works with us, his kids are snowboarders, really awesome snowboarders, like winning nationwide contests. And they are people that are using hashtags. They're trying to gain that follower base. So when their photos get picked up by a publication or by someone that could sponsor them, that makes a lot of sense. So people like this. So we started crowdsourcing our photos, and people actually direct message us photos a lot. Hey, I was skiing at Canonsburg. Will you post this photo? And sometimes we get it for like a 10-year-old. And it was literally say, recently I got one, it's like, hey, I'm really good at snowboarding and I'm getting better every day. Do you think you guys would ever want to sponsor me? And he was like hitting a jump in a little video. I was like, that's the cutest thing ever. Like, we don't sponsor anybody right now, but I'll send you some stickers for your board. And he was like, that's awesome. So the stuff we get behind the scenes has been really fun. Seeing some of the photos and the comments that we get that aren't public facing that go in our direct messages.
And think about, like, okay, so we post once a day, if not twice. We really don't go over 3 because, you know, we're like, the currency of Instagram is still time. I mean, you can go in and you can put you can sponsor a post and you can get in the thing, but everyone knows it's a sponsor and it looks like an ad. The thing about it is the currency is time. You put in the time, you congregate these photos, you build your following, you build your hashtag, and your followers are paying you in time by time on your newsfeed while you're flicking through your Instagram account at the end of the day. So think about, you want to be in there so that they remember you and you're just top of mind as the day goes on and you're giving them something to enjoy. But if you're covering them with 10 photos in the day because something came up that was cool, well, they're gonna start getting annoyed by you because they're like, I wanna see my friend's dog. Like, I don't wanna see more posts of what you guys have going on behind there. So just think about how, use that library later. They're great photos, take them, but use them at the right time.
So when you're doing this, there's certain times of the day that you'll learn that work really well. So if you're a business, say in downtown Grand Rapids or the Grand Rapids area, and you look right now and go to places on Instagram search and search Grand Rapids, you'll see a lot of businesses posting during the day. It's during business hours. They were trying to get people in the area to come in. So say, for example, one of the restaurants down here posting, maybe they have a special going on for lunch, whatever that may be, posting during the workday. So there's tools out there to see when is your best engagement, when is the best day to post. There's studies out there, and we've actually seen it happen because we did the research before and said, okay, they're showing that Wednesday nights are a really good time to post on Instagram. So we took that and thought, okay, 8 o'clock at night on Wednesdays, 8:30 on Wednesdays, getting some heads shaking. That
you guys seeing the same thing?
Same thing. So
yeah.
Wednesdays and then Sundays are huge. In what we're doing, Sundays are huge. Sunday evening, because if somebody is out all weekend doing something fun, they're posting the photos and they're engaging on Sunday night when they're just relaxing, unwinding, getting ready for the week. So there's some tools out there like Icon Square or Simply Measured, and a lot of others. Simply Measured was free, and now it's a paid, but it's an analytics tool because Instagram doesn't really have a great analytics tool besides measuring your followers or your likes that you're getting on a photo or comments. So some of those would be worth taking a look at. Our best thing that we're doing to get followers and to get engagement is engaging back with followers. So if you post a photo and somebody says, awesome photo, or I love your shirt, or whatever that is, just taking the time to respond. I think the best company that I enjoy seeing what they do is Founders Brewing. If you ever see when they post like KBS week is coming up in March and someone's like, oh, I can't wait, or I wish I could come. Someone is there having instant conversations, and when you get talked to by a company or a brand, it gives the person on the other end a different feeling. The boots I have on right now, which you probably can't see, weirdly we have the same ones on, so that's kind of funny. But I posted a photo when these came out. These are cushy boots from Wolverine Worldwide. They posted a photo. Our new boots are out, and I happened to have them on that day. So I snapped a photo of them and said, yeah, they're awesome. I'm wearing them right now. They responded to me and said, thanks for sharing the photo. We want to send you a swag pack. I was like, this is awesome. So I got a fanny pack, some sunglasses, some stickers. But it was really cool having the interaction with the brand. That's why I said Founders does this awesome. My favorite interaction I've seen with their social media team was they posted that they were going to have CBS on tap or want something to do with one of the really popular beers. And a guy in St. Louis said, I wish I could come, but I live in St. Louis. The response was a link to Travelocity with a flight and said, the flight leaves St. Louis in 3 hours. I think you could probably make it. It's only $684. And so it caused this like huge chain reaction of people talking. But that engagement is huge. So anytime It doesn't even have to be an engagement on your photo. So if we see, if say you're a heating and cooling company, it might not be the most exciting business to show furnaces or to show your air conditioner. But I'll tell you what, during a snowstorm, next time you're on Instagram and there's a snowstorm, just look up the area of the snowstorm and see how many people are posting photos out of their window of their car with a bunch of snow on it. Or it's cold out, it's really snowing hard, all this stuff. If you're that heating and cooling place, just a quick comment like, hey, hope your furnace is ready for these next 3 days of 18 below zero. Something like that, and they go, oh, wow, that was interesting. This heating and cooling company just talked to me. So it doesn't always have to be happening on your page. You can go out and talk to people outside of where you are. When we were talking about Goodwill a while ago here internally, I thought of the idea. I looked up Woodland Mall. So I was like, all right, let's look up what's going on at Woodland Mall on Instagram. So there's a girl with like 15 bags on each arm. And I thought, oh, that'd be kind of cool if Goodwill said, it looks like you got a bunch of new clothes. You should bring your old ones by to Goodwill to clean out your closet. Something like that. So causing interaction, we're in unexpected places. The person that does this the best, and it shows, Taylor Swift. Most followers besides Instagram. She's very engaging with her followers. She is probably, I would say, the best celebrity or best person out there that engages with followers. The last thing here, fun and easy contests.
Yeah.
So when we're having these contests, whether it is something like we're doing today with this group here, or we're doing the My Playground hashtag for a free sticker, different contests get a ton of engagement. We usually give away stickers, which are, people love stickers. People love any free stuff. So that causes engagement. So if you post a photo and you're not posing a question, or you're not giving somebody a reason to comment, a lot of times they won't. They might like the photo still. But if you ask the question, where's your favorite place to go in Michigan? Where would you put a sticker if we were to give you one? And it's also a way for us to test how our followers, if we're getting the right type of people. So if we get, I put it on my snowboarding helmet, I put it on my bike rack, I put it, they're telling us where they put this. Because we're asking them a question, we're running easy contests. This costs no money. We're not doing sponsored posts. It costs whatever we give away in product or stickers. But the engagement and the interaction with the people is what we're really trying to get here.
So, actually.
Yeah, so just a few examples here of where we've had photos trending under certain hashtags that make sense to us. So this photo here, again, we had a lot of cool photos from the foggy day, and those have been our best performing photos. But this trended for about a 24-hour period with the hashtag paddleboard. So anyone in the world that was looking up hashtag paddleboard, if that's what they're into, we're going to see our photo trending here at the top. Because under here, most recent, that flows. That's a river, so the photos just flow down. And if you're using a hashtag that has a lot of posts, your photo is going to be down low really fast. But if you get trending, it'll stay up here at the top. We had this one under the Pure Michigan. Again, our photo that did really well here in the fog as well. But this one trended for another day under Pure Michigan, which actually was better for us than even the paddleboarding one, the one under the hashtag paddleboard, because this had a Michigan geo attached to it, and that's where we are. So this sat there in the top of the news feed. As you can see, a lot of cool photos around Michigan. There's a ton of great Instagrammers in Michigan, so you start to find out who those people are. There's people with 50,000 followers in the state that take amazing photos. And the last one here is from one of our contests. So another Pure Michigan. This is someone that won a sticker in one of our contests, and he put it on his snowboard, and then he went on vacation to California and posted a photo in the mountains. And so we used his photo of a sticker that he won in one of our contests to run our next contest. Say, so-and-so won a sticker in our contest. Where would you put your sticker? And then we get all these comments, and the more comments you get, the more engaging it gets, the more trending it gets into the top post. So then we have some brand awareness and brand recognition trending at a hashtag that has over 2 million photos posted under it for about a 24-hour period.
So this is kind of where we started to have to ask ourselves, what are we going to be? So the obvious answer for us is posting photos of people doing stuff. Well, it's the obvious answer now because that's what we started doing. We could have posted pictures of all sporting events, right? It could have still been my playground. It could have still been the thing. So just some things, if you're looking at like, what do you want to post? Ask yourself a couple questions. First one, am I cool? Like, are you cool? Can you do a backflip? Is it something that I've never seen anybody in the world do? And you know, I can't, so we couldn't post anything like that. Eric Erickson's sons, they can do all sorts of different kinds of them, and they post them on their Instagram and they tag all the people that they're sponsored by. So they have that ability. Unfortunately, I haven't even attempted one since I was 15 and it didn't turn out good for me, so I quit. Am I funny? No. Like, I'm not. I can make people laugh if I'm sitting around having a conversation, but I can't quip off of something that happened in the news, that's something that's going on. I can't take the mundane of outside and be like, look how hilarious this is with my introspective perspective. Like, I can't do that. So, does my enthusiasm show? Like, you will be a hollow shell within 3 months if you don't do something that you love. If you can't show your enthusiasm behind what's happening, Instagram isn't the place for you to play. If it's just like, walked into work today and click, like, no one wants to see that, so they're not going to give you their time. They're not going to pay you in the currency of time. So, are my surroundings interesting? Well, that's actually kind of where we were like, all right, I'm on Lake Michigan. This is pretty cool. I've been on Lake Michigan hundreds of times. And every time I go there, there's something different happening and it feels different. Some days it's glass calm, some days we're surfing, some days I'm crashing my kiteboard into the beach and just wrecking myself. But each one of those things are interesting for what we're trying to do. Fortunately for us, there's a lot of people doing the same thing as us, and that's where our crowdsourcing comes into. And then, is my product interesting? We play the 80-20 rule just like a lot of people do, but keeping your posts interesting, 80% of the time we're just like, wow, this is awesome in Michigan. This is so cool. Look what Dave's doing. Look what we did this weekend, and we can show all that stuff. 20% of the time, we'll be posting at least with us with a shirt on, doing something. We're not gonna be doing hard pitches all the time, but we can put our shirt into it and make sure that it's branded with what we wanna do, and it makes sense for people. So just think, you have to be interesting. It would be like your 80-20 rule would be like if you went to go watch a TV show and it literally was all commercials. Like, that's not what people want. They have to give the program so that they can sell the product. Does that make sense? Like why you would be doing it that way? So, you know, we've been racking our brains thinking, like, is anybody in here an accountant? Okay, good. We were like, where does an accountant post? How do they go to, so I started looking the whole thing up. And the feeds of Instagram for accountants are just falling money, pictures of falling money, being like, it's tax return, it's tax return. And I get it, it's their season, this is their Christmas. But they have to be out there and they have to think of something interesting. So maybe it's them being interesting at their mundane job. Maybe they are funny, and I'm not saying it's mundane, I'm sure they find it interesting. But they have to make it so that everybody thinks it's interesting. So everybody in here wants to follow an accountant because we all do taxes. So you are all potential people to go meet this person. So being there at the right time, posting at the right time for them, doing anything like that is important. So this is a picture of my dad, who does not use social media at all. And the funny thing about this is we said, hey Dad, you should get on Instagram. You can see pictures of his new son and you can see what we're doing. We're always posting cool pictures on there. And he's like, okay, how does it work? We signed him up for it and I'm like, what do you want your name to be? And he's like, Cool Dad JB. And I'm like, okay, that's your name. And so he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, you post pictures of you doing cool stuff. And he goes, oh, okay, I got this. Opens up his phone, snaps his photo, and throws that photo on there. If you can't see it up top, that's him in the corner with a salmon bending his rod in half on the St. Mary's River with a sunset and a freighter going by. He knocked it out of the park on the first day. And he's been doing that ever since. So if you ask, is he cool? Yeah, he's cooler than we are. So but the nice thing is we take his photos and we post them on ours because he's part of our team. We made him part of our team once he was good at it. So how to be interesting? Well, okay, this is me on a hike in the woods a few weeks ago with my dog. Well, we've got some sunset, an angle. Actually, the circle, it makes it more interesting. But this is not a good photo. No, like, you guys care about this photo? I love my dog. This is, you guys don't, and that's okay. So make sure that your framing is right. If you ever are wondering, what should I show? Crop and zoom. Crop and zoom, crop and zoom. Get closer and show the thing that's interesting. Micro moments, that moment that makes you feel, because everyone just wants the feels as they go through Instagram. So make that attempt. I say, hey, do you want to go on a hike? My dog says, yeah. And so here she is. Is that a photo that I love? I sure do, because I see this face all the time. She loves these photos. If we send them back and forth with my wife, we send them back and forth to each other all the time. Look at my dog. You guys don't necessarily want to see it because it's not the shot. It's not the shot that makes everyone happy. So at the end of one of my hikes, I was able to grab this shot. Now we're getting somewhere, right? The lighting was in the right time that I did it. She was exhausted. She's a Mastiff. It takes 10 minutes. It's not like an accomplishment. And she's doing the thing that is the expression. I got down. This is shot 15 because I knew I needed this shot. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, stop moving. Stop moving. And I keep making it so that I get the shot right, the lighting's right. You do a little bit of post and you can post this, and this is going to get the good interaction. I can hashtag this with dogs of Instagram, and people love Mastiffs because they have big wrinkly faces. Problem solved. We have it done. So think about, what is your shot like this? What is that moment that you can capture? And make sure you're capturing that. Someone who does this really well is my friend Dan Pemble. So he's a tattoo artist. And I interviewed him before we did this, and I said, he has 37,000 now. He just keeps going. 37,000 followers on Instagram. He has taken something that he should be tattooing people within, what, 20 minutes, maybe an hour away from where he is if he's known for it. Before Instagram, that's what his thing would be. He is in Marquette, Michigan. Has anybody ever drove to Marquette, Michigan? Like, you're not there by accident. Like, there's only 3 roads to get into the UP, and you have to get on one to get there. But because of his reach, he has actually made himself a destination where people fly into Green Bay, drive 3 more hours just to get tattooed by him because his reach is just outstanding. He said to me, like, if it wasn't for tattoos, like, why would I be on Instagram? What am I gonna do, post pictures of my food? And like, he just doesn't get it, but it's a perfect medium for tattoo artists. So it took him from a local person that can do this, you know, if you're an artisan, if you're that, where I can only reach to here, and now he has national reach. Interesting thing about him is he can call up anywhere, like, that he has buddies all over the country now, any of the tattoo conventions, and be like, hey, it's Dan. And they're like, yes, you are. And he's like, I want a spot and I want a tattoo at this convention. They're like, you sure do. And he does that. He, like, his tattoo in his Instagram precedes who he is now. The cool thing about him is his end product is interesting. So the question, is your product interesting? His product is super interesting because people want to see it. So they post pictures of the tattoos and he does it. He has a lighting studio in his basement, full light setup, hoods, everything. And he's taking still with his iPhone. But he makes you stand there with your foot on a thing. I have my shin tattooed like this. And he's like, nope, 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 got it. And then he posts his. So he's actually discovered that his prime time to post is 11 p.m. So if that makes sense for when ours is usually like 7 or 8, think about West Coast is right around that time. So his best time to post is thinking West Coast time because he has a ton of followers out there. So this tattoo of this person's armor chest with horses on it took him from about, what was it, 28,000 to 35,000 in a matter of a weekend. And I was there when he did it. He was like, look at this thing. Like, it's blowing up. It got picked up by a bunch of publications, a bunch of things that people, like different tattoo, curated pages, like Tattoo Snob has 165,000 followers. They pick it up. 4 or 5 other ones pick it up. This thing gets 7,000 posts, but if you looked at all of them together, it's around 100,000 likes that it got on it, and it gained him about 7,000 more followers. Another one, he was surprised by this. This is the forearm, inside forearm of a girl, and he's like, "That's a good tattoo. I really like it. It's neat." But it performed better for him because it speaks the language of Instagram. You can have an awesome arm sleeve of a tattoo that goes up to your neck, but if I'm going to show you on Instagram, like I have to have a video, like check this whole thing out, right? It doesn't make sense because it doesn't translate to Instagram. This one translates to Instagram because the story is told within the photo. So his 20%, what is that? Well, if he's not just a curated tattoo page where it's just lists of tattoos, we can see them from people all over the country with some of them. Why follow him? Well, his 20% is who he is. This is actually him last weekend, and it's him kicking people. And then it's him hitting that person in the head and then falling down. But then people go, wow, this guy is also interesting. So the question is your product interesting? Yes. Is he interesting? He becomes interesting by posting these kind of things. So
the last one we want to talk about just briefly is GoPro. So everyone here, or most people, would know what GoPro is. So GoPro has 8 million followers. They never post their product, but they post the end results of their product. Everyone that's using a GoPro is the photo that they post or the video that they post. So they do a lot of really cool stuff. And talking about user-generated content, that's what GoPro is. Everyone that got a GoPro for Christmas is out trying to figure out a cool video or a cool photo to shoot with their GoPro. They're hashtagging GoPro and they're using GoPro at a very, very high rate of hashtagging, whether it's the model they have or just GoPro in general. So user-generated content is huge here. So this photo, for example, 350,000 likes. This is a person that wouldn't have been able to get that perspective of this turtle unless they maybe wanted to get their hand bitten off if they didn't have their GoPro on the GoPro stick down in the water over the side of their kayak or wherever they're at here. So a really cool shot that you wouldn't see somewhere else. A user hashtags GoPro, GoPro curates these photos and posts them. So they can't sit. The people at GoPro that are coming up with new technology, they also can't be out doing stuff all day. They don't just get to go surfing and go mountain cliff diving, all this stuff all the time. So they have to reach out to the followers. Like this one as well. A dad with a daughter out on a sunset, 300,000 likes, but a very cool, you can see the girl's got her arm back, taking the photo with the GoPro. And if you look at their page, they are really killing it in how they have created a space and created a hashtag that people are interested in. So I know we're talking about GoPro, they're massive, but how can you do that with the business that you have? So can you make that thing that's interesting, or can you create a hashtag that someone's interested in using? So I go back to heating and cooling. So is hashtag HVAC interesting? Well, are people going to want to talk about that? Maybe not, but maybe you're talking about tips on Tuesday or something that somebody would be interested in following and being able to utilize in the space of a service or a product that isn't the most interesting thing. So we like to look at, did it work? So do you have a community that is building? So we're trying to build our community. Again, going from nothing to going to something, a community that is building. So we monitor how we're performing based on interaction we get with our customers or with our followers, and are they the right people? Are they the people that are doing the things that we are trying to get in front of? And those contests help justify that for us. The followers are on a journey with us. So they started with us, and our followers, as it grows, they continue to see what we're doing, and we start to pull in that user-generated content often. The next thing we're doing is, one of the next things we'll be doing with our company is doing brand advocates. So it's a big thing in the clothing industry, our brand advocates or ambassadors. So who does what you want them to do the best, and they also follow you, so as a company or us as a company. So that person that is out doing the best stuff, they're out on the hill, they're out in the water, and they live the lifestyle that you're portraying, we're looking at a brand ambassador program that we can provide that person with clothing, so when they're out doing it, it's almost like a form of a sponsorship, but not a paid sponsorship.
So we have two things left. One, So I told you my wife is in charge of shipping and hyping. We built our whole company around Instagram. So we said, when they pull that shirt out of the bag, do we want them to get this shirt and just say, neat, it got here? Or do we want to give them a user experience when they pull that out of there? So actually, what is this, like the 50th version of like all the different wrapping jobs that you gave the thing so that it felt like our brand when you pull it out? It's got wrapped into like a little brown bag and it's got a bow on it and does everything. So we made our packaging Instagrammable and we asked people, hey, post it, like post the thing. So they take a picture before they open the thing that they got. And the nice thing is it's already wrapped for Christmas. So if they see somebody doing it and they say, oh, well, I can buy that shirt, I can ship it to them, it's wrapped and they know that they have it. So our whole thing is to make sure that that user experience is something you can take photos of.
So that's actually a photo that someone that bought stuff around the holidays posted and tagged us in. So this isn't a photo that we posted, it was actually a photo that somebody else posted. And they put it on their deck and they put a log under it and made it all fit our brand. And I got the notification like, you've been tagging the photo. I was like, oh, what is this? Like, oh, that's really cool. It's not even the shirts, it's just the packaging. That makes Markman really excited.
So then the last thing is, did it work? So if we're looking at what kind of, we ran a contest. I'm gonna pick this one, I don't, okay, graphic one. So this is how contests work. This is us sitting here going, all right, who wins this thing?
All right, so I'm just gonna pick Megan.
We went through it, we picked somebody that we thought we would, and so you won a t-shirt, congratulations. And we have them in the back so you can pick out which one you want. So that's how our contests work. And in the process, in the contest, we figured out that people are saying these places that they love so much by just going through and picking them out. So we're gonna be hanging out for a few minutes, so if you have any more questions, like feel free to ask, but that's what we have for you guys today. So thank you very much.